Hi guys, welcome back to the 14th episode of our 1.14 Skyblock series. To start the episode, I want to show some highlights of us building the gas-based ghast tier farm, where we stopped last time at the most interesting part, getting the gas into the actual farm.
Got it's actually hard to count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8.
GG.
Alrighty, AFK the ghast farm, I guess. 2 more guests.
Yeah, get 2 more
Doesn't make
gas.
sense to bring them in before we have them all, right?
Can somebody put in the cobble walls on top of the rails?
I'm playing mob switch. I actually can't.
I can come over. Yep, the ice is fixed. Let me just do one more round. Make sure. Yeah.
Because I don't even have cobble. Alright, I'm gonna send the
So-
first one now.
Fell out of the world.
Yeah.
It failed.
Yeah, make some. It can't hurt.
Alright, I'll stay at the farm.
Okay, make sure the ghast can't see you though.
Okay, I'm not sure if I can do that now. I have to power the rails somehow
Oh shit.
and push the ghast. This is not gonna be easy.
I'm sure that I powered all the rails I placed.
You have to kill that one.
I don't know. Goodbye.
You have to kill that first one. You already shot the rail he's on.
Yeah, he also shot all the rails. Oh,
You have to kill him.
the fence gate is gone.
You have to kill this guy.
I have to kill all of them, pretty much.
No, I don't think so.
At least the second one as well.
Not if you're quick with placing the rails back after killing him. Stop! You
Is there a brewing stand?
actually have to replace the rails or we have to lose them all.
Look, all the minecarts are stuck. Let's go get rid of everything and do it proper.
Let's try if they get out of there, right?
How?
I don't know. How do you activate this thing?
Usually you press a button which got destroyed, which is here, then you open that fence gate for a moment, and then just the next one goes in.
We only have one nether ward. I'm not making a invis.
I still have some pistons. I might be able to salvage like 1 or 2 of them. Do you have some levers or stuff? Or buttons? Something? Redstone blocks? Ah, it's some good fun.
Yeah, no invis, sadly.
It didn't. I guess, yeah, rebuilding time. This is
Yeah,
not
let's
gonna
do that
work.
tomorrow, maybe. Something else.
Yeah, I guess we can kill the gas at least.
Can I not be
Get some
a
gas tiers. Do you have a looting sword, maybe?
No.
I have one.
Wait for Cycle, at least loot him up.
Nah.
Here.
That looks like the
what-
first card
I
worked.
don't send them too
Go to the
fast.
nether hub?
1 second.
Second card worked, I think. No, it works. Yep. Seems good. Can stop.
Okay. Let's actually try this one.
Yep. Looks good.
What's going on here?
What?
Send back. Lost card.
Uh,
Okay,
it's-
gas recatching time.
So this was really unfortunate right there. At 2 AM we just lost all of our 10 gas and had to recapture them all again. For some reason we kept going, did so, and we're ready to put them in again.
Should I send one or what's the...
Wait, let me check one more time if everything's okay.
Yeah, but you wanna click the button from here and move a little bit back because on the downward slope here there's a tiny bit amount of stuff where he can see.
Alright, everybody
Yes,
hide. Everybody
Okay.
hide.
Right, I'm coming, methods.
Pluty.
Hide Pluty.
Pluty.
Let's kill him, because he's AFK.
Fuck
Move
yeah.
here to
Alright.
the back. There's a tiny spot where
Yep.
he can see you.
Go.
I'll punch him down.
Or we
Okay.
could kill
There you
him, but whatever.
You
No,
punch
he's
more.
moving back.
Oh no.
Good. Why? Mouching?
Can I come
Oh, Lord.
over?
1 sec, don't send anything.
Is- Did I mess it up somehow with the detector rail? Oh, did I not remove that one? That could be it.
No, there was another minecart already in there. I'm getting it.
Mhm.
Should still be salvageable, that Ghast.
We haven't
Somehow.
gotten a Ghast in
Yeah.
a long time.
Okay, I got the card.
Okay. Can you try to walk
Slowly
into it and
crawling
maybe
back.
move the minecart somehow? Wait, I'm waiting for your methods. Alright, let's try this. Strongest force with this one.
Check my name.
Got it.
We did it.
Oh, it
Yay.
also triggers the farm every time we move him in. Maybe we should remove that, actually.
Just punch out the redstone then.
Yeah, exactly. Next one.
That one's. I'm. All right.
Next
We have
one.
one more.
Yeah.
Alright, get ready, fix
Alright.
up farm, let's go. Wanna go to bed.
So what's this? So this lever out.
Oh god.
Oh!
Unfortunately, Pluty got a little bit excited there and was jumping, which allowed the Ghast to make eye contact and start shooting. And since it was past 3 AM at that point, we were just calling it a day, and the next day methods fixed the damage. He had to replace some ice blocks and move some of the Ghasts out of the farm temporarily. But as you can see in the background, all is good, and now we got a working Ghast farm. I'm gonna quickly go on spectator mode and show you the farm in action. The farm is not really pretty right now. We had to box it in yesterday with stone to avoid the Ghast from shooting at a player. For example, if you wouldn't have added the stone blocks in the back, a player that would walk towards the end here could maybe attract the Ghast's attention. So that's why it's completely boxed in. Here on this side we still have the iron bars, which is a bit of a problem because the Ghast can't reach there. Gonna replace those with glass blocks that we can buy from one of the villagers. It should also increase the efficiency a little bit. But apart from that, the farm works really good. What we did in the end, instead of using the tripwire detection system, was just to put down a detector rail here. So the Ghast drives over and would then start the conveyor belt system. We also had to worry about that the other Ghast might be a bit quicker because the detector rail would influence the speed of the minecart, so that's why we also placed down normal rails here, just to mimic that side. Right, all is good, so the Ghast would spawn, push to the side, and are then transported via conveyor belt system into the killing chamber, where they get suffocated via this block here. Right, let's actually check out what we got so far. We've been AFKing for quite a while now. Yeah, looks good. I think somebody already brought some Ghast tiers over. Now we have a couple of stacks, both chests here. Can't complain at all. So finally we can smelt those and get quartz for our comparators and observers. So I already brought over some Ghast tiers to the furnace array, smelted them, and that's some quartz to work with. Pretty nice. Wouldn't really build out of quartz yet, but at least we're good now on comparators and observers for some simpler projects. Alright. So after this nerve-wracking Ghast farm construction, it's time for some fun, I would say. Don't get me wrong, I mean, making the Ghast farm is super satisfying in the end, but if you're working with the Ghast, there's always a chance for some setbacks, and we suffered a lot. But yeah, what I wanted to do now is actually use one of the new features that we added to our carpet mod. It's an automatic crafting table and a way to get netherrack. At first we didn't think we need netherrack at all, but later we talked about it and thought it would be nice to get some nether brick later for wither skeleton farms or nether fortress farms. Since in the larger bounding box, mobs can spawn, or fortress mobs can spawn on nether brick, while in the smaller bounding box they could spawn on any block. So this might be interesting later. Also the red nether brick is nice to build with. So we didn't add another wandering trader trait because we already got a lot of those. We actually decided to add a new game mechanic to it. We can convert cobble into netherrack, but it's quite costly, so we can use a dispenser. I actually placed it wrong. Let's place it here. And if you put in fire charges, so that's actually one of the items that are not used a lot. So if we add fire charge to the dispenser and have a cobble block in front, then we can convert it. There we go. So this is the mechanic we decided to go for. It's pretty nice in my opinion, because it finally gives a use to the fire charges, and it's not as boring as just another wandering trader trade. And we can also make later a contraption out of this to automate the process. So think about cobblestone generation, and then converting it into netherrack, and then a TNT chamber to break it all. This is going to be quite fun. At the moment we're not having enough blaze powder to really automate this, and at the moment there's also no immediate plan to build a nether brick based farm. So this is something for later. So what I really want to check out now is the new autocrafting table. You might already be familiar with the concept of this autocrafting table, because a couple of weeks ago I made a video about how I would like autocrafting to be added to Minecraft, and we implemented like that in our Skyblock world. So for everyone else that hasn't watched the video, I'm gonna try to explain it real quick. So we basically gave the crafting bench tile entity status. That means it's now able to hold items. So if I would put in the sticks here, can close it, and the items would remain behind in the crafting bench. Also, we added hopper support on the side, so we can feed in items into the crafting table. For example, let's say we want to uncraft a redstone block. Then I can put it into here. It would fill up the auto crafting table, and as you can see, we already have the correct crafting recipe. And if we would now unlock the hopper below, it would suck out the redstone dust out of the crafting slot. What Skyrising, who implemented this feature into Carpet Mod for us, also added was comparator support. So if you would fill in the crafting bench, comparator can also now detect the fill level of the crafting table. So with this crafting table, we can essentially craft every item in the game. In my showcase video, I, for example, showed how we could use this in order to craft dispensers, but pretty much everything is possible. The early stages of the game, it's not really a big help, because it's just more convenient to do it manually. But for example, if you want to craft up the output of a certain farms into blocks immediately or something similar, this will be a great help, and just gets rid of the grindy aspect of spending a couple of minutes, or if it's a lot of items, even hours, just crafting items, which is super boring. Right, I actually really want to start using this crafting table now. So we're gonna go over to the mob farm, and instead of storing bones, I actually want to store bone blocks directly. While you can do everything with the crafting table, it's not as simple as pumping in items from one side and taking it out from another. For example, if you would try to feed the bones directly into the crafting table, what's gonna happen is we would craft one of the bones into bone meal, get 3 bone meal here, but while we suck out the items out of the crafting slot, the hopper here would put more bones into the crafting menu. So basically puts the items one after the next into the crafting slots here, and this would basically overfill it, and then the hopper below also just sucks out the bones out of the crafting slots here. So that's why it wouldn't work like this. We have to come up with something. So I came up with 3 ideas how we could solve the issue. We could, for example, use a clock to slow down the input into the crafting bench. We could put an item filter system below, or we could actually use the comparator functionality. So if we detect that one item goes into the slot here, we just lock this hopper here. So we're gonna add a comparator, would power a block, then would also power this redstone dust here, which in turn powers this block, which locks the hopper. So if we would put in bones now, there's always exactly one in there, and then this hopper is locked. As you can see, it only takes out the bone meal now. Alright, then of course we have the issue that we're kind of limited now by the speed of the bone meal. So what the problem is now is we get about 5,000 bones per hour, which is turned into 15,000 bones per hour, and one hopper can only transfer 9,000 items per hour. So that's why we need to double up, add a second item filter, already started with that, so we have 2 slots to sort out bones, convert into bone meal. We also want to craft the bone meal into bone blocks now, and of course we have a similar issue. If you would put in the bone meal directly without locking the hopper below, it would suck it out immediately and we just craft white dye. Definitely don't want that as well. So we can probably do something similar again. See what kind of output we get if we fill this up completely. So now it's locked. And what is the signal strength in front of it? It's 15? Yeah, it is. Then we can probably, in that case, quickly unlock the hopper below and suck out one item. I'm gonna try that. In theory, this might work unless the timings are wrong. So what we do now is we have a comparator, which only turns on once we have signal strength 15. So that's why we have the redstone block here on the side. If that happens, torch unpowers, and the repeater here will also unpower. Not quite sure if the timings are right, if you maybe should use a dust instead to make it a bit quicker and move the redstone block one over, but we're gonna see that immediately. Right, let's put in the bone meal and see what happens. Okay, we took out the bone block. I think this is working. Yep. I'm also wondering if what happens if you stop halfway through. Probably nothing. This should work in all cases. We put in more bone meal later. Yeah, this is actually a working system. It's actually easier than I thought it would be, but it's pretty nice. Luckily I found enough space to build it all up, and of course this is not really looking nice, since this is all temporary still. Later in the game we're gonna build proper mob farms and everything, so this is just all for testing now and just to quickly advance through it. We're gonna build prettier stuff later. Alright, let's try it out. So let's put in some bones into those hoppers here and see if we can get bone blocks coming out the other end. We had a little flaw here while powering those hoppers with a block, but also power the hoppers above, which of course locks the whole system. So it's just probably gonna power those hoppers here directly with the repeaters. This is gonna make it even more awful, but it should work the same. Just gonna need some redstone dust here on the side. Yeah, this is not gonna be pretty, but hopefully it's functional. Alright, let's put it in here. There we go. And now only the correct hoppers should be locked. Let's see. Okay, we've got more white dye coming out. Maybe we need to clear some crafting tables. Nope, it's all good. Next try, put it in the bones. Maybe only on one side for now. Fails again. So here we're making bone meal, perfect, and here we're making bone blocks. Alright, got the first bone block. Awesome. Yeah, it's working. Right, I would say we AFK the mob farm a little bit and see what we can get in 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of waiting, we got exactly 0 bone blocks. And the reason was that it was daytime, but why does that even matter? Well, since 1.14 is only a snapshot, the light engine doesn't work at all, and we got Skylight in there despite the mob farm being completely sealed. So as you can see here, if I would go into the troubleshoot here, for some reason Skylight level is 15. Well, what's above? Cobblestone slab. So this doesn't make any sense, but yeah, that's what we need to deal with here right now. And of course, since the Skylight level is so high, not a single mob spawned. The mob farm was at least working at nighttime and the crafting system as well, so we got a couple of bone blocks now in those chests. I'm really happy about the system. I'm so glad we have it now in our Skyblock world. Unfortunately, I don't think we will see something like this in vanilla soon, since the devs have a different philosophy. They want the game to be based around player interactions, so they really encourage that you craft the bones into bone blocks yourself. since that should be the focus of the game. But in my opinion, it's definitely way more fun to set up systems like this one here to automate the process. I probably spent more time setting up the system than I would have ever spent crafting, but I definitely had a lot more fun setting up the system than crafting. If you want to play with this auto-crafting table yourself in your Skyblock world, you have to wait a little bit because it's still plagued by some issues that Skyrising is currently fixing. So we are having issues with the manual crafting part. While the auto-crafting part works 100% as it should, as you can see there's some issues with the normal crafting table. You can see there's no item in the output slot, so we can't see anything. Also, it still loses items somehow. If you would try to craft those ingots into blocks. So currently we have 4 ingots in each slot. Try to take out 1 block. Yeah, now the number got reduced by 2. So it still has some issues. We're working on fixing this. And then yeah, we can also use the auto crafting table finally and the manual crafting table.